Hello, this is AstroKrys from CodaQueenAstrology, and today's video is going to be on the Aries new moon, new beginnings and a fresh start. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment below. Let me know your zodiac sign. I'd also like to share with you my free Facebook Astro group in which I hold free Facebook Lives and also collaborate with other spiritual healers, teachers to talk about everything astrology. The link is going to be in the description below if you want to join us. It's growing and it's a lovely community. And I also go live every week on IG where I host Ask the Astrologer segment in addition to talk about the weekly astrology weather, so you can catch me live there. The link will be in the description below as well. And if you're on Clubhouse, don't forget to say hi. This is AstroKrys. You can find me with that tag. I hold and moderate different rooms for the astrology club and very excited about that. Well, let's get to this nice and beautiful Aries new moon. So the new moon's happening on April 11th, 2021, and the moon and sun are meeting at 22 degrees Aries. Most of the aspects for this new moon are extremely beneficial. There's a lot of good energy going on. It truly marks new beginnings. So we just entered the spring equinox. We have the exalted sun. The sun will be exiting the sign of Aries soon, but not before leaving with good aspects for that new moon in Aries. So let's start to talk about what new moons signify and how we can use the new moon in regard to manifesting. I've been holding goddess rings with my colleague Devin, and we've been doing rituals with the full moon and the new moon. And this is for manifesting. So following the cycles of the moon and the flow of the moon is the easiest way to start connecting to the cosmos and also aligning your intentions with the moon. So when the moon is in Aries, it's all about new beginnings because Aries is the baby of the zodiac, right? He is the energy of new beginnings. This is a beginning of spring. Ruled by Mars, and Mars is actually sending a good aspect, a very supportive aspect, because Mars is at 23 degrees Gemini, so sextiling the 22-degree conjunction of the moon and the sun, in addition to having mutual reception with Mercury. Mercury right now is in Aries, and during the new moon, Mercury will be at 15 degrees Aries. And Mercury doesn't do, too bad in the sign of Aries. Mars is okay in the sign of Gemini. However, they do help each other when they're in each other's reign. So they're in each other's land. Mercury rules Gemini. Mars rules Aries, so they have a helping hand. This helps the new moon and also the rest of the planets as they're communicating with a nice harmonious sextile, which is energy of Venus. Venus is at 26 degrees and she is still invisible under the rays of the sun, but shortly will be moving into the sign of Taurus, where she'll become visible after her transit in the sign of Taurus in about 2 more weeks. So when we look at this new moon, the signs and houses that are highly supporting each other are the energy of Aquarius, the energy of Aries, and the energy of Gemini. So pay very close attention to those houses because the moon and the sun are sending aspects to those points. They're also sending aspect to the South Node in Sagittarius. And as of now, Mercury and Jupiter are in signs where they can aspect each other. So Jupiter is in Aquarius and Mercury is in Aries. So they're not sextiling each other, but they're starting to form a sextile. And this is good because currently Jupiter is ruling the south node because it's traveling the sign of Sagittarius. And Mercury is ruling the north node because the north node is in the sign of Gemini. So them starting to communicate is directing the collective, and the things that we start during this new moon are going to be aligned with our path. Now, there are a few tension aspects, but not too many. If you look at the chart here that I'm showing you, most of the lines are blue. That's good. Those are all good energies. But the main one that is forming is an exact square with Venus and Pluto. Now, Venus and Pluto, when they communicate in the sky, especially with tension, it can bring some issues around relationships. It could also bring issues in regard to money and power. So like struggle over finances and things like that, because Pluto rules power and lots of money, and Venus rules money as well. So when they're communicating difficult in the sky, this can activate people's charts, especially if you have planets around the cardinal signs at 26 degrees. So I'll give you a range. It would be around 16 to 30 degrees. So between 60 all the way to the end of the cardinal energy. If you have any planets there, you have to watch out and see how this is affecting you, because the Venus square will be activating, the Venus / Pluto square will be activating your personal chart in those areas. But the bright side is most of the aspects are very supportive. So if we try to not lean into the darker side of the Venus square Pluto aspect, we can use this opportunity to heal past traumas, especially traumas that were related into power, that were related to power struggles, that were related to love or abuse, and also secrets. So it's all this energy, all this intense energy, behaviors that you might have developed or adopted based on your defense mechanism and past relationships. This is the time to heal them. So it is a square, meaning you might be a little bit hesitant to address them because you don't want to open that box and let the pain out. However, the rest of the planets are supporting. We have Venus in the sign of Aries, which is, not her favorite sign. However, she can be very cutthroat in that energy, meaning she is not going to wear her heart on her sleeve. She knows what she wants. She goes and gets it, and she's fired up. So it can give you some decisions and some strength in regard to taking actions. You can also feel a little bit more fired up and argumentative because Venus does get agitated in that sign. But all in all, it can give you some power to release things that no longer serve you. And Pluto's just going to be reminding you, hey, these things are in here still. Let's work on them. We have Chiron in the sign of Aries, which is all about deep wounds, deep issues and traumas that we have that we kind of bury in, trying not to pay too much mind. So Chiron here is actually receiving a nice sextile from Saturn, and this dance will be played out throughout the year where Chiron and Saturn continue to sextile each other. So Saturn is there supporting our path and allowing us to take things like slowly, one step at a time, and be very aware of the moves and directions that we're taking. So very supportive in regard to releasing that. I am going to be hosting a workshop in regard to cleansing your energy, because this is a beautiful time to do that. This new moon is all about purging things that no longer serve you so you can begin fresh, right? It's happening in the first zodiac sign of the astrological wheel. So no matter where you have that Aries energy, you're beginning fresh there. So, and when I was looking at this chart, I just said immediately, I need to hold this workshop. So the details will be in my description below if you are interested. I only have a few spots left. They are selling out very quickly, and it's all about cleansing your energy. So I am going to be teaching you how to cleanse it. And I use a shamanic practice that was actually shared to me by my great grandmother. And that's what I use to cleanse, and I'm going to be teaching that. So I would love for you to join. Hopefully there's still some tickets, but you can also do your own cleansing. This is a time for you to purge right before the new moon. So the day before the day of the new moon, you're purging, you're cleansing your energy, you're getting rid of things that no longer serve you, especially with that energy of Pluto, because Pluto's about purging, digging deep, going down in the muddy waters and clearing things up, getting to the bottom of secrets, taking control. So you need to take control, change these behaviors. And from there, this is going to support the new drive or new ambition or new manifestation that you want to create with this new moon energy in the sign of Aries. We do have the ruler of Aries in Gemini, which is near that north node, and that's the collective's north node. Now, if you have your north node in the sign of Gemini, then this new moon is speaking very individualized to you, because Mars is activating that north node, meaning it's time to take some action. It's time to change some things in your life. And these are some of the cycles that get activated. Everyone gets a similar cycle next time when the nodes move into Taurus, when we have some activation from planets to Taurus. People that have that natally will have more developments during that year, because it's just how the energy is pushing them. So this time around, we're seeing this in the mutable signs. So a lot of changes for the Gemini, Sagittarians, Pisceans, and Virgo signs, because of the fact of the North Node and their activation. Now, another thing that's happening here is that we have Pluto that is sextiling Neptune. Now, both these planets keep on dancing this sextile that gets close and then it gets a little further apart. It's been playing out this way for the past century or so, because the way that they're orbiting right now. So a lot of people tend to have the Pluto and Neptune sextile in their birth chart. But one thing that is very cool about this chart is the fact that all the planets are direct. So as of now, the planets are direct, but Pluto is going to be the first one that starts the trend to go retrograde. And that's going to be after the new moon. So this is why you want to cleanse your energy so you can manifest in that area of your life where you have this Aries cardinal energy to start new things, where you're getting recharged, especially with that huge stellium, right? We have Chiron, we have Mercury, we have Ceres, which is the goddess of abundance. Now, Ceres is going to square Pluto in a few weeks. And Ceres was the mother of Pluto's wife, Persephone. He didn't ask for her hand in marriage the good old-fashioned way. He actually took her forcefully, and then from there he manipulated the situation for Persephone to stay in the underworld, as he allowed her to visit her mother, Ceres, or Demeter. So Ceres is the goddess of abundance, of the hearth, and also tied into the seasons. So new beginnings in regard to food, and we see Ceres very, very close to the moon. So this is a time, this day, I honestly believe that it's a great day for you to plan your future in regard to the foods that you're ingesting and taking in. Now, the sign of Aries is not so much tied into that food, but you're setting new beginnings. So this is the taking action part. And once a series goes into the sign of Taurus, and we also have the moon in the sign of Taurus, then we're going to be able to solidify this diet that we were kind of designing. It's all about being aware of the food that we're ingesting, and also the chemicals that are in that food. So it's very supportive to kind of be aware of your home and your body, your temple, your diet, because the moon also rules our body. So Ceres being so close to that moon is talking about food and cooking and the way that we eat and the way that we are appreciating the food that we take in. Back in the days, food was considered or was a number one indicator of wealth. So if you were healthy, then you were on the heavier side because you had enough food to take care of yourself. That means Ceres will provide for you. However, if you were on the thinner side, that means you did not have as much money and you were not as blessed because Ceres was not providing that much food for you. So this new moon, having Ceres so close with the sun, is marking new beginnings, in addition to having Venus there, which is the planet of money, love, and abundance as well. Now, shortly before the new moon, Venus was also sextiling Jupiter. And those are the two benefic sextiling. Now, when we look at all these aspects together, we have Venus squaring Pluto, but at the same time, which is power and lots of power, and Jupiter and Pluto together in someone's chart can indicate, or it's one of the aspects that indicates attracting lots of money throughout your life. But now we have Venus communicating with both. Now it's roughly communicating with Pluto more on a tension aspect, and with Jupiter, Venus is communicating on an easier aspect. Now, Pluto and Jupiter are forming a semi-sextile. Semi-sextiles are not like sextiles. They do have a little bit of dignity in regard to helping each other because they're neighboring planets. Just think of you standing in a line and you're holding the person next to you. You're holding their hand, but you're not necessarily you're not seeing them. You can't see them because you guys are standing side to side and you're holding hands. You can't see the front, like, they're what they're wearing and things like that. You can only see their peripheral. So there's somewhat of a connection, but not too much. And they also assist each other in evolving. So from one mode, they evolve to another, from one element to another element. And the points where they meet, they assist each other. So it can be a little bit difficult, not like the sextile, but can be supportive. So we have Venus here kind of mediating that and assisting. So this can attract a lot of money, a lot of opportunities, but there's probably going to be some work to be done. Somewhat like the law of attraction, we need to change our subconscious beliefs, and Pluto attacks that. Pluto shapes our subconscious beliefs with some blockages and limits, and that were formed because of a protection mechanism. It's time to journal and identify what these things are. So Venus and Pluto do have a strong effect on our love life. So just kind of be mindful of that. Even if you are in a committed relationship, the Pluto and Venus communicating aspect in the sky can affect you by maybe becoming more irritable or having less patience with your partner. So be mindful of that, and just remember that this shall pass, and it can bring up things or maybe situations that are a little harder to I guess, resolve. So I know this is showing up in one of my best friend's chart as due to the pandemic, her spouse lost his job and he has found job, which is great. However, the job requires him to travel and stay the week hours away from home. And they had to talk about this and kind of, she called me so we can discuss how she felt and then also see if I had some advice. And, we came up with a plan together as I advised her and listened to her. And she does want him to take this job, which he did, but she's kind of upset because of the fact that she is now going to be alone with the children and he's going to be away, but this is what's best for the family now. So even though this is bringing money into their home and bringing security, there's a power struggle in regard to, you're not going to be here. I'm not going to be able to be around you. You're not going to be around your children and your family. Of course, he's coming back during the weekends, but scenarios like that, I just kind of wanted to give you an example. And in their chart, Venus and Pluto are making contacts to their personal planets, but it is beneficial. This is going to assist them with bringing money to the home. And where is Venus at? Venus is in the sign of Aries, where this moon is forming the aspect with the sun, and he's actually to start on the 16th of April. So very suiting. So just remember, if this is what's showing up in your life, that you kind of have to take a little step back and see the big picture using that energy of Jupiter, but then also use your compassionate eyes using the energy of Venus and change patterns and behaviors and, maybe secrets or subconscious actions that you had. And that's tapping into that energy of Pluto. Other than that, this new moon in Aries is highly supportive. We have Mercury that left the sign of Pisces, which was a detriment position for Mercury, and now Aries is neutral and Mars is supporting as they're in mutual reception, and they're communicating to Jupiter and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. So one thing that I do advise is to ground, because there is almost no Earth in this chart. The only planets that are in Earth right now are Uranus and Pluto, which both of these planets are outer planets, and they have a intensity to them. So tap into the energy of Earth so you can ground and kind of tailor all this exciting creative energy that the fire and air signs carry. And again, thank you so much for being here. If you liked this video, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment below. Let me know what zodiac sign you are. Let me know if you have any other suggestions in regard to videos you would like me to make about astrology. And check out these other 2 videos. I'm sure you'll like them. Thank you and have a great one. Happy manifesting.